Link building. We talked about how important it is, half of the equation, incoming links. So link building is very, very important. It's such a major part of the formula that you just can't ignore it. And a lot of times, if you're going to err on the side of doing something not so perfect or so right, links will save you. So if your page isn't, optimized as best it possibly could be for how it's structured, you can get away with having a higher ranking if you have more links or better links actually coming to that page or coming to an area within your site that links to that page, so where it gets ranked high. And you can have it rank higher, again, through the link building process than through the optimization process on the page, more than vice versa. As I mentioned, some pages can rank high for phrases that aren't really being used or optimized for, where there's not much competition, just by how the page is structured with no links at all. But what happens more than that are the pages that rank high that don't contain any specific keywords, but have links coming to them that contain the keywords or related keywords, and that's why it ranks high. So linking is very, very important. A very, very important warning, though, you don't want to get incoming links too fast. So if you're setting up a new site and you're trying to optimize it, don't just go out there and get hundreds and hundreds of links in the first week. Ideally the rule of thumb is, don't get more than one link a day, at least for the first couple of months. And then maybe you can pick up the pace with 2 a day, and then the next month 3 a day. But it's slow and steady wins the race. If you get too many incoming links too fast, you run the risk of, Google flagging you as somebody that's, kind of abusing, the system. So just don't get links too fast. Just take it naturally. Set up your site, structure it well, get some pages out there, publish your blog, get some links in some good web directories. We're going to have there's tons of link resources in the resources section, as well as we'll constantly be updating it for you. Start there with some of the best ones. We'll talk about some of that in the master plan. But ultimately, just don't get them too fast when you're first starting out. If you've already got a site that's been around for a while and has a lot of incoming links, then you can just use some of these other link building strategies and resources to kind of get more and more as much as you can within reason. But just don't go pay some company to get you 10,000 links and have them get you 10,000 links on all these crazy pages, within a week, or it's the kiss of death. It's going to flag your site. As I mentioned, a starting point for most SEO for most of this process, for most SEO consultants and experts, they agree, is to start with good web directories. And some of them you have to pay for inclusion, other ones are free. My advice is, it's of course all depends on your budget. If you don't have a large budget, then I wouldn't even do any of the paid ones. But if you have a decent budget, I would just do both. So start with getting listed in some of the better directories, and then of course start with getting included in some of the ones that are paid. So start by doing those like one a day. Pick out the best one, then go to the next one, and so forth. And of course, we'll have a huge list of those in the resources section. Reciprocal linking of trading links with people. You link to me, I link to you. Used to work really well. Now it's just totally devalued. It doesn't really work all that much anymore, but it still works. But the best way people find that it works is with content. If you're going to exchange links with somebody, you become friends with somebody, say, hey, let's exchange links. A couple ways to do it that most people have found. Try not to exchange the links from the same page. Like they link to you on the homepage, you link to them on your homepage. Maybe somewhere deeper on their site they link to your homepage, or they link to a deeper site, a deeper page on your site, and vice versa. So don't just have it the same page links to you that links back to that same page. But the other thing is, if you're going to exchange links, it's better to do it with content. Get them to put an article on their site that within that content, not just at the very end, but somewhere within the text, is a link to your site. And that's a lot more valuable and is doing a lot better for people than it is if you just have a link that's just sitting there by itself at the very bottom of a page that links to you. So put it within content if you're going to be doing that. Of course, anywhere you get a link from, anywhere on the internet, if it can be within content, then sitting by itself, it's a lot more valuable. Always keep in mind, a quality link is better than 1,000 weak links. A quality link is better than 1,000 weak links. It's not just about total link popularity. It used to be. It's not so much anymore. You still ultimately want to get a lot of links over time and just get them from all over the place, and you'd love to have the whole world linking to you. But when push comes to shove, you'll rank higher if you just get fewer high-quality links. Of course, if it's done within content or done with the proper keywords and phrases or LSI phrases, then the results you'd get if you had just tons and tons of links from little junky sites that don't have much value in Google's eyes. Anchor text, what the words are in the link itself, needs to be a broad combination of terms. The biggest kiss of death now, it used to work, but not anymore, is if you just had, 100 incoming links to your site that only said gardening tools. You could rank high for gardening tools. That's how it used to work, and it was easy. No longer the case. I would say you want to use the actual keyword phrase that you're targeting no more than 10% of the incoming links that you have. So 10% of the time, maybe the link just does say, gardening tools or discount gardening tools. All the rest, you want it to be, other words along with the phrase. So it's kind of the longer tail version of that keyword, as well as LSI phrases. You really just want to mix it up. And when we get into kind of ranking out your different LSI phrases, which I'll kind of talk to more in the master plan of after you get things to convert and you figure out what kind of you want to target, you're going to have some to pick from. So as you build these links, you just want to mix it up. It's very important that the link comes from not only a relevant theme page, but the words that are around it. That's why it's better if it comes from within content. But first and foremost, it really does need to come from a page that is related to your page. Don't do a reciprocal link exchange with a site that sells cat sweaters. If you have a gardening site, that's not going to do you any good, even if you do use some kind of an article or something else, because the other pages that link to that page can tell Google if the content on that page, even though it is structured to have LSI words and keywords, if it's kind of makes sense that they're linking within. So Google's process and where it's going is incredibly intelligent. You may be able to fake it and get by in the short term, but we're all about a long-term strategy so that everything I'm having you do for your business is building equity in your marketing. It's building this asset. For every little thing you do is going to have this long-term value. So everything that you spend your time on or invest your money in will hopefully return value to you forever. So let's stay away from these short-lived things and try to beat the system. So make sure when you're getting incoming links where maybe you're buying them from or where you're getting them from, you got to be careful with buying links. Google cracks down on that too now. So it's just constantly this juggling act. But where you get them from needs to be from a site that has the pages that are truly related to whatever your site is about. And of course, you want to work on kind of this isn't exact science. I just say this as a rule of thumb because most people, they only focus on the homepage. The fact of the matter is this math is probably better off to even go less than this, the homepage. But just as a rule of thumb for you, just to for you to at least keep in mind, so you're not just building your links to the homepage. At the very least, do half to your homepage, but then the other half of links that you're getting coming to your site, have them point to sub-pages in your site, what they call deep linking. They go farther down into your site. And of course, the more relevant they are, if you're getting linked from an article or blog post that's within a specific category like carrots, let's say in this gardening world, you don't want them to link to your homepage, if at all possible. Have that carrot page link to your carrot page, and that's more powerful ultimately. But you do want both because you need those incoming links coming to your homepage. Because although this page rank thing of Google, as everyone's figuring out or trying to figure out, is on a page-by-page basis, and just because a homepage has a high page rank, doesn't mean everything else in that site has this high value. Google does seem to have some kind of scoring process for scoring like an entire domain name and thinking of something site-wide.